You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We do, in fact, have another new caller. Loving all the new callers. Keep them coming. New caller, what's going on? New caller, what is, going on?
Hey, this is Ray from Tennessee.
What's up?
I've never called before. I've listened to your show for years. Listen, this whole thing with, first of all, let's talk about special teams for a second. People keep calling for Rich Bisaccia's head, and I'm not saying that he deserves to keep his job or anything, but we've gone through 5 special teams coordinators since LaFleur took over, and he tried to hire Darren Rizzi back then. Obviously, we don't know what would have happened, but you know, he was the hottest name on the market, and Ed Policy and the front office staff told him he wasn't going to get that much money for a special teams coordinator. Special teams is just not a priority for the Green Bay Packers as an organization. I'm sure LaFleur would love to have good special teams. I'm sure he keeps trying to hire a coach that can make that happen, but until the organization as a whole decides that special teams is important, it's not going to happen. You know, Bill Belichick used to use the bottom of his roster to fill with players that were specifically for special teams. We use the bottom of our roster for 6th, 7th, 8th wide receivers that might contribute for one play at some point in time. I was never on the fire Matt LaFleur bandwagon, never one time. But after that game, I definitely felt that way. Because, you know, I look at it like this, you know, with my kids, if my kids are acting up all the time and they never get better, it's because I'm a bad parent. Now, we've watched Keyshawn Nixon on the field, and I'm not talking about his play. I'm talking about the unsportsmanlike conduct and all this stupid tough guy crap that he pulls all the time. And there has never once been any kind of discipline, never once been any kind of, you know, him having to prove himself. Maybe that's because there's no other cornerbacks. Maybe I'm not sure what the reason is, but it's the same thing with, you know, Romeo Doubs last year when he just decided one day he wasn't coming to work anymore. You know, they're a bunch of kids with no discipline. And I'm not sure LaFleur is the guy that can bring that. Now, we're probably going to keep him as our head coach. I don't think anybody argues, at least nobody worth talking to argues whether or not he's a good offensive play caller. Oh, crap, I'm going to have to call back.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, you know, things evolve over time. I think the hiring of Rich Bisaccia was the Packers kind of saying enough is enough. We need to put our foot down and do more. And that's why I also said don't expect that to ever happen again, because they opened up the paycheck, the checkbook to go out and get the top guy, and it did nothing. Not that should dissuade them. They should continue to do as much as is humanly possible. But I just have a feeling that that's going to make them a little bit more gun-shy. The only other caveat I would put in there is, you know, Darren Rizzi wanted a shocking amount of money as far as special teams coordinators go. He ended up signing for more, I think, back in 2019 than we gave Bisaccia here in Green Bay. Still relatively low amount of money. I mean, compared to like what head coaches get, I mean, it's considerably less. But I don't want to pretend like, oh, they would never go out and get a luxury car because they wouldn't, you know, pay for the $250,000 Phantom or something. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean they wouldn't go get a BMW. You know what I mean? But I get what you mean, and I think that's a common sentiment, and it's hard to say that it's all just like the front office and whatnot, because who plays on special teams is not Ed Policy's decision. That's Matt LaFleur's decision. So, that's, Matt LaFleur and Rich Bisaccia and whatnot. So, I don't know. And, McManus was a relatively big swing, and, Gutekunst caught flack for drafting, punters and kickers and long snappers because, you just never do that. So I think that might be slightly overstated, the fact that the Packers just don't care. And we do have starters playing on special teams and stuff. And usually when we do, fans start screaming, don't ever do that again. That's so stupid. I don't want to see Golden. I don't want to see, our receivers out there doing that stuff. I don't know. We'll see if anything ends up changing in that regard. But, again, all the team can do is, talk to Matt LaFleur about what he wants. He got his guy this last time, and it didn't work. So assuming Matt comes back, which I agree he probably will, hopefully they move on from Bisaccia, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who's even out there right now. I don't think there is a Rizzi or a Bisaccia type of target out there, as far as I know, for special teams. So we'll have to see. Part 2.
Hey, it's Ray in Tennessee again,
So,
just continuing on. Matt LaFleur is a good offensive play caller. I mean, he without our starting right tackle, without our best tight end, without a lot of weapons that we would normally have, he still got that offense to put up, 27 points in a playoff game. I mean, that's still, and the very final drive, Jaden Reed got hit in the hands, and Christian Watson probably could have caught that ball there at the 8 or 9 yard line, which, we still should have won that game. The defense, the defense is a different story. The defense crumbled, and that's a problem. I don't know if it's a Halfley issue, but if he's gone, I think you keep LaFleur, and you're just going to have to bring an enforcer in as a special teams coach or a defensive coordinator. Not some, like, Halfley is the same guy as LaFleur, same temperament, same attitude. They're teachers. They're not the Robert Saleh tough guy, Dan Campbell tough guy. We need a tough guy to be tough on these kids and make them be disciplined the way they need to be as a Packers player, what we demand as fans and what the organization should demand of the guys on the roster. I haven't heard anybody, talk about those kinds of things. They just keep talking about, LaFleur crumbling under pressure and not being able to make good decisions. But I think that stuff is a little bit deeper and needs to be talked about and figured out as an organizational whole. Thanks. I'll keep listening.
I mean, yeah, it's tough because, we would have to do that for offense and defense and special teams. That's the problem with, if you keep LaFleur, which again, they probably will, because he's the guy at the top. He's the offense and defense and special teams guy. And if he can't do it, then you have essentially an offensive coordinator as a head coach, and you need to hire a head coach as an offensive coordinator. You need to hire a head coach and defensive coordinator type of guy for defense, and then a head coach on special teams. Because, you're not going to get like a skullcracker defensive coordinator that's also going to oversee the offense and the special teams. So you're right that we need that spark somewhere. I just think it becomes really complicated when it isn't the head coach providing that. But, we'll see how they handle it, I guess. I don't think there's going to be that much change. And so I think for the most part we just continue forward, but we'll take it a step at a time and see what they end up doing with the coaching situation, I guess.
Hey, Ryan and everyone out there. It's AA Ron from Eau Claire. I've been in New Orleans, Louisiana for the last 5 days or so for a conference and having a pretty good week, but I was nervous the whole time about this game, and I was watching in like the hotel bar lounge area with a mixture of Packers and Bears fans, and there were long stretches of that game where I was feeling really good, especially the first half. I was like, this is amazing. But I just didn't trust it. And I was like, I want to see a couple of drives in the second half to kind of push the game further out of reach, because I just don't trust it. And I just had a bad feeling. The further it went in the game and the further the Packers wouldn't continue to add to their lead, I just did not feel very confident. And I just don't know. It's like, here's what's so frustrating about it is, like, there is no material reason we should have lost that game. There's no, offensively, our offense had a pretty good game. Jordan Love threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Caleb Williams did not look good for the majority of that game. He played pretty bad, except for in comeback mode. And, there's no logical reason that we shouldn't have beaten the Bears today. And it was the same with the last game, and it was the same against the Carolina Panthers, and it was the same against the Browns, and it was the same against Denver. And even with Micah Parsons, the defense played well enough in the first half. Even without Tucker Kraft, the offense played well enough in the first half. It's just very, very frustrating. And we're left in the same position we have been for the last, 15 years, which is we're good enough to get in the playoffs and to, play a team close, but we just can't get over the edge. I want to call back for part 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we're good enough to get there. We're also good enough to win when we're in there. It's just that we don't. It's not as though, we're good enough to beat bad teams in the regular season, then we get to the postseason, it turns out we're frauds. It's just that we get to the postseason and we don't play like we played in the regular season anymore. We have that game where all of a sudden everybody sucks. And by everybody, I mean not quite everybody, but certainly enough people. A large group of people start to just become unbelievably incompetent to the point that you don't look like you belong. I can't remember the last time we played a playoff game and it looked like we even belonged in the playoffs. It wasn't like some slugfest between 2 powerhouse teams. We get embarrassed. Even though, that the Bears game was close, yeah, but it was embarrassing. A lot of the Eagles game last year was close, but it was embarrassing because the Eagles looked like crap against us and we lost. So, this is year after year after year sitting here going, I don't know what the answer is, because talent isn't the answer. Getting better players isn't the answer. It's not. We have good enough players. I mean, sure, it'll help a little bit. It'll make it more idiot-proof, but I don't think it's idiot-proof enough. I don't think you can be idiot-proof enough, because they turn into complete idiots no matter what. So unless and until that gets solved, none of the other stuff matters. It doesn't matter what GM you have. It doesn't matter what quarterback you have. It doesn't matter if your team is healthy, if we have Tucker Kraft. It doesn't matter if we have Micah Parsons. None of that matters because it's not a talent issue by the time we get there and just stop playing football. And until we can figure out the answer to that question, I don't know what we do. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
So, so here's kind of where I am at with everything after this season. One is I don't think Matt LaFleur should be fired now, but I do think he should feel the need to improve certain areas of his game next season, or else I think he's in danger of losing his job. I think that he has proven today that actually he can handle a lot of adversity pretty well. I don't know what the reason is for the collapse, but part of me feels like it's not so much his skill as a game manager or a play caller or, somebody who prepares the team well in 90% of the ways you need to. But for me, it might be a cultural shift that needs to happen because, for example, we've tolerated the special teams mistakes for far too long without making a change at coordinator, and how many times, now we're dealing, I think you could argue that special teams cost us the game today because that's 3 missed field goals, I believe, or two missed extra points and 1 missed field goal, something like that. And the Bears won by 4. That's 5 points. The same thing is true with a lot of the other close losses we had. Either we didn't kick the field goal but could have, or we could have kicked it but we missed or something like that, or we got a sack out of field goal range. So maybe it's just again an unfortunate mingling of
3 minutes caught him again, but there's no question if special teams plays well, butterfly effect, whatever, but just based on the, actually something I'm looking at right this second, San Francisco Data Niners is an account on here, says Green Bay likely wins this game with even average special teams performance because it's showing EPA and it's, everything was basically fine for the Packers across the board. EPA per play was better than the Bears. Success rate was better than the Bears. Explosive play rate was better than the Bears. Turnover rate was better than the Bears. It was just penalties and penalty yards that were worse. But they had a plus 9.9 special teams EPA. We had a negative 9.9. It was the biggest by far discrepancy in the game. But, we also win the game if the offensive line plays better, if the wide receivers probably catch a couple passes. There's a lot of things that could have caused us to win this game, special teams being one of them.
So you could say, it's an unfortunate kind of mingling of different misfortunes we've had with injuries and stuff like that. but that's honestly, it didn't really matter throughout the course of the game because we were winning. We were dominating. The Bears were trying to lose the game the first half. I mean, we made stops on fourth down. We held them to field goals. We scored on offense, and we just got. And then like a lot of the Bears' success was literally like a kickoff or a punt where they would just run it like 30 yards, and that's bad. That's bad special teams, When have we ever run it that far on the punt return? I can't remember the last time. So, I just, I don't know. I don't think we're far off, but are the things that keep happening frequent enough, unfixable enough? Are they just a Matt LaFleur thing? Are they a Rich Bisaccia thing? Is it a youth thing? At some point, it's just, I don't know, but it just keeps happening. So anyways, if I weren't a fan of either team, I would have thought, what an entertaining game. Both teams had, great moments. So, I guess congratulations to the Bears and their fans. The Bears fans that I was, nearby were pretty cool. And we, I said, good game, but it was painful for sure. It was painful to hear their delightful cheers. And just knowing how thirsty that fan base was for a win in the playoffs against the Packers. So anyways, it's very, very tough, but we have a lot to look forward to because we have Micah Parsons, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden made some plays. Romeo Dobbs had a solid game. We have a lot of hope for the future, I think. I just don't know how much of the problem can.
Part 4.
Okay, now that I've vomited all my thoughts out, to summarize, I'm not sure how much of the problem is LaFleur, how much of the problem is youth, how much of the problem is Bisaccia, how much of the problem is just getting stagnant, how much of it is just like the mental hurdle of getting that playoff, monkey off your back. I just don't know. I don't know what the Packers should do moving forward because there's nothing, there's so many reasons that we're going in the right direction, but there's just these things that keep coming up time and time again that are the coaches that are currently in charge of this team, are they going to be able to overcome those hurdles? So I'd like to know your thoughts on what would you do if you were, in a managerial position and kind of facing this sort of soft dilemma. Okay. Well, go Pack Go. It's been fun. It's been fun this season in many ways. Very frustrating in others. But hey, at least we know what the outcome is, and we can move on and just enjoy the off season.
Well, to answer your question, what would I do? I mean, I've already said I would lean toward letting Matt go, but the honest answer is I would need to hear from him an answer to that question. What's going to be different? How do we fix that problem? Because it was offense and defense and special teams that collapsed in the second half. All three phases failed in the second half of that game. So sell me. Sell me on the fact that although this has been an issue since the day you got here, what is it that's going to change next time when we go to the playoffs to make me believe that we are not going to just simply collapse? And although I have no idea what his answer would be, I don't think he would be able to give me a satisfactory answer. The best thing he could do is start vomiting out, we're going to fire this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and we're going to start over. And, I'm going to restructure how I do my coaching staff, because I need help in these areas, as far as game management, and I want to turn those kinds of things over. And, we need a new energy. We need a new fire. I want to, take my scheme, but also look for a little bit more of a physical type of thing. And so I need an offensive coordinator like such and such or so-and-so that's going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. We certainly need a new offensive line coach because that hasn't gone well at all. We need guys that are going to get in there. They're going to get tough. They're going to hold people accountable. If he starts doing that, that might fire me up a little bit and be like, okay, all right, let's try it. I just don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think he knows the answer because I don't think he does. I think he's just as likely, just like the rest of us, going, I don't know. I don't know why they don't play. I don't know why they don't do their job. I wish I did, but I don't. And as unfortunate as that is for the coach, because it ultimately is the players not producing, it is the coach's job to know. It's the coach's job to know what the problems are. It's the coach's job to create the environment that, when things get to this point, those collapses don't happen. So again, I'd give him an opportunity and see what he had to say, but I don't think that I would be given a satisfactory answer. But, we'll see.
Hey, Packernet podcast.
What's up?
And Ryan. It is Sorrow Sunday. Our Green Bay Packers are absolute effing morons. McManus is a freaking bitch. LaFleur is a freaking pansy boy.
Okay.
Soft boy. Pillsbury Doughboy. And I hate everything about the Packers.
Right.
They are freaking retarded.
Okay.
Sorry for saying that.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
But it's true. How can you be up 18 points and lose? The offense just went stale in the second half. You just can't do that, man. It's just the play calling was just absolutely dumb. Trying to push receivers all downfield, all of them. They can't get open. And everything was working the first half in terms of Love being able to get the ball out of his hands. And the O-line, I don't know why. You were blocking totally fine all game. Don't give me this crap where you come in the second half ooh. Like they just wanted to look at men. They were just gay. They just wanted to look at them and not block them.
I don't even know what that means.
This is the worst playoff loss. This is worse than 2014. And I know 2014 had more weight to it because of the fact that it was an NFC championship game. But you're up 18 That's horrible. And you know what? If anything, this game proved us that Love's the guy. Because he really did do a good job, but, you know, I can't even believe what I just witnessed last night. Now I had to deal with this crap for the rest of the week, the rest of my life. We will never do anything with Matt LaFleur.
Brian, this is an effing trend. You lead Cleveland by 10 when we play Cleveland. You lose. You lead Dallas by 13. You lose. Lead Denver by 9. Lose. Lead Chicago by 10. Lose. 18. Lose. That's absolute bullcrap. That's a reflection of your shitty coaching, Matt LaFleur. It is. Don't anybody give me this bullshit about record. Oh my gosh, we want to have a good record. I don't give a shit. We look retarded with him. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't freaking complete a game. And yeah, players too. You know what? That falls on Goody. But screw him. He can be gone too. He put us in this position with these shit players. Shit O-line. Come on, man. That should never happen. We should have never been the 7th seed. Quite frankly, should have beat Cleveland and beat Dallas. They were in a different position. I just can't with this team, man. You've got to be able to come up with it, man. You literally needed one more touchdown. I'm pretty sure it would have been over. Actually, I'm not sure. They might have needed 2 more touchdowns. Right? They might have needed to get 35 points or whatever. Just absolutely lame and pathetic. Just a bunch of lame asses. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to change. So much for calling ourselves Title Town. Somebody else is going to catch up to us now. Because we can't do it, man. Not with LaFleur. Give me Harbaugh. I don't care. Screw it. We just need something different. It doesn't matter. Maybe let's just hire like how we did with Affleck, a guy that nobody thought about. Some guy that's really smart. Maybe he won't be Mickey Mouse Matt LaFleur.
Mickey Matt. That's pretty good.
Oh, hey, and by the way, yeah, Jordan Morgan, he is, I think I like him. I think I like him at left tackle, though. And you know what? It's funny. Because this coaching staff is so incompetent. Okay, you draft Jordan Morgan, a guy who has played left tackle most of his career, and you've been moving him around to positions he doesn't play. And of course, and when he plays those positions, he sucks ass. Okay, and then he plays left tackle, or he just plays tackle, I think he plays good. But you put him at guard, like, come on, man. It's just total incompetence. They do this crap all the time. They put these offensive linemen who are, play guard their whole lives, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we'll put you at center or tackle. It's like, that is total mental illness. But, it's just, I saw Quay Walker said, I'd love to sit here and say, that we should have won, but honestly, it's been a problem the whole year. We couldn't finish games. He said, even before I got here, listen to what I said. He said, even before I got here, it was a problem for this organization. Even freaking guys who are on the team now,
are admitting that this has been a problem. And it never gets fixed. Never gets fixed. Are you kidding me? That's an indictment on LaFleur. I'm sorry. You can say all you want. Record, he's got a great record. Well, that's cool. Where's the Super Bowl appearance? Appearance! Where's the Super Bowl appearance? You know, and it all stems back to 2020 against the Buccaneers. You know, kicking the field goal. We should have known right then and there that it's Matt LaMouse. Mickey Matt. Such a little freaking bitch. And yeah, I'm not going to be happy if they're like, yeah, we're going to give you $15 million a year. That's going to be bullcrap. You know what he's going to do? The same shit. Nothing's going to change. I don't know. Maybe we need a new OC. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Something needs to change.
Why don't we take a break? We got one more beer cheese on the other side. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Beer Cheese Benny here.
What is wrong with you?
Life is so awesome. I hate my life. I hate the Green Bay Packers. Thank God I have a family that loves me. That actually loves me, unlike the Green Bay Packers, who hate me and they want me to die. Anyways, yeah, so I'm listening to your episode after the game, and I gotta say, guys, anyone listening, Ryan, if you remember, I told you I wasn't a big draft guy. Like, I just didn't really care much about it. But last year, as you know, I was like one of the main people who was like, calling in about prospects, and I just gave it a chance. Right, so give it a chance, guys. Like, it's actually really fun. Like, just look at guys, do your little mocks, and it's fun. Or just like look up guys, try to see. And what's fun about it is, like, if the Packers get a guy that you had in one of your mocks, like, it's really cool. You're like, oh yeah, dude, like I got that guy or whatever. And then, like, also you can just see like what's out there, like watch a tape. I didn't watch much tape, but if I saw a guy, I'd be like, oh, let's see what he looks like on tape, which doesn't really mean anything. But you look at their stats and stuff, and like, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's just like, yeah, this guy could be a Green Bay Packer. Like, he could end up being a star. Like I remember Edgerrin Cooper. I wanted him, and we got him, and it was just so awesome. Like, that was kind of before I got into it. I just remember hearing a lot about him. So I imagine, like, if somebody had a mock draft and they picked Edgerrin Cooper, like, it'd be like, oh my gosh, dude, we got the guy I wanted, But as far as I'm concerned, Packers need to draft a kicker. McManus, you are a bum. You're a freaking bum. And just draft in the trenches. I mean, we can't really do much, 2nd through 7th, so I don't know. Maybe we can trade somebody on our team and get like another 2nd or 3rd round pick. Maybe, man, I don't know. None of that's going to happen. But anyways, give it a chance, guys. I'm telling you. It's really fun. I use Mock Draft Simulator. Not always the best, but usually ends up being kind of accurate. If you can't afford to do the PFF full 7 rounds, it's a good free one. Just type in NFL Mock Draft Simulator, and you can find some good free ones, man, that are fun. But yeah, just give it a chance, and man, just hopefully next year Mike is the same. I bet you Tucker Kraft, he's gonna come back and it's not gonna be the same, which sucks. So we just need to be healthy and be better.
Yeah, one of the things I always say about the offseason is it's the time to dream. And it's some of the most fun time because nothing can ever really go wrong. I mean, it can, in like now when it comes to the coaching staff, everybody gets upset if things don't go the way that you want. But once this all clears away, it's just dreaming time. And everybody's great, and everything's going to be great, and everyone's going to be great. And it's just something to get excited about. And the cool thing about the draft is you look at people and you daydream about, oh man, that guy'd be so good. Imagine that guy on our team, blah, 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 blah. And there's sort of the pre-draft, during the draft, and after the draft. Pre-draft, you look at everybody, and everybody would be, oh man, that guy would be so good. And like Beer Cheese was talking about, it's also fun to kind of have your guys, somebody that just for whatever reason you just like. And I always like hearing from you guys about who you like, because it's never the same. I mean, we all just kind of have our own flavor of, I guess, what we're looking for, or maybe it just depends what games you watch or whatever the case may be. But for whatever reason, we all kind of come to it with different approaches and whatnot. So it is fun. It's a lot of fun. And then after the draft, everybody that we draft, you go back and you look and you find the highlights and you get excited, and they're going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened. And it's fun until the regular season and everything is horrible. But the off season is when things get to be fun. And I would encourage you to check out NFLDraftGrades.com. If you got any issues, just send it over. I had talked to somebody yesterday, whatever. And right away, they were like, yeah, I tried to log in. It didn't work. I was like, oh, dang it. So I think we got that all fixed now. It's the other benefit of it, because I'm only doing certain things, and I have a logged-in account, and it has a premium thing and all that, and occasionally I'll switch back and forth. But sometimes there's very basic, simple things that are just broken and not working, and I won't know about it. So the more people I can get over there just playing with it and tweaking it and messing around and then messaging me saying, hey, what about this? And this isn't working, and could you possibly do this or whatever, the better. So NFLDraftGrades.com, you got mock drafts, you got group mock drafts. If you got some people you want to do a mock draft with, you can build big boards, all that stuff. So that would be greatly appreciated if you can pop over there and, try it out. I think we took all the breaks already. Let's continue with Bill from South Carolina.
Hey, Ryan. This is Bill from South Carolina.
What's up?
After the morning after the debacle, listening to a little bit of your latest. I was in the Navy 22 years, and if the captain of the ship, if the ship isn't ready to perform or fails to perform, the captain's down. Right. That's his responsibility. And we got co-captains. We got Goody, who strikes out way too much on evaluating talent. Whatever his team's doing, whatever he's doing, way too many misses on first rounders, and the free agent signings were a complete debacle. You can't do that. And the other co-captain is LaFleur. LaFleur, quote unquote, great offensive coordinator, but when the bullets are flying, I've been saying this all the time, and it's not anything new, anybody with eyes could see. When the bullets are flying, something happens to his brain, and it turns into mishmash all over the place. Maybe that translates down to the offense or whatever when crunch time comes. But for whatever the reason, it's not going to work. We're not going to go to the Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur. It's McCarthy all over again, doing the wrong thing all the time. It's Sherman back before that, just wasting teams. And we should be able to get a good personnel guy. We just go back to our personnel tree somewhere and get one of those guys back. We have to get two corners by hook or by crook somehow. We have to get at least two or three offensive linemen. We don't have a lot of other holes that we have to fill other than those. So we're not that far away. But making the playoffs as a seventh place team 3 years in a row is not a great accomplishment. And then when you go out and repeatedly do this, it's just very, 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 very disappointing. And I'm tired of watching LaFleur come out and give the same stuff. It's demonstrated. If you got eyes, you see it. And I'm not going to make any more excuses for him. Just got to go. And so it's got to be like Ed Policy has to turn into Corleone and start doing he's gone. But, it's a little bit overreaction, but I'm just tired. I just don't think, heck, I'm almost 70, and I don't think I'm not going to wait around for 20 more years. I want to get to at least another Super Bowl. And LaFleur's not going to do it. It's just not happening, period. So, anyhow, yep, we'll stick with you this year because it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Well, I appreciate that, Bill. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to close the door entirely and say we can't with Matt LaFleur. I mean, is it impossible we run it back next year and win it? Of course not. But I don't know the answer to the question, and that's my issue. And I'm to the point of losing faith. You know, that there's just a characteristic to these teams that win championships. You know, you look at the Chiefs and teams like that, just the way that they perform. They're not always perfect, but they get more and more perfect as time goes on. And they don't seem to respond to adversity. And I mean that in a positive way. Like they don't seem to flinch. They just continue on. You know, everybody, it's like, oh, now they're in trouble. Nope, they just keep on going. Everything's fine. You know, they're losing by halftime in the AFC Championship game. They come out, they just keep going, and here they come. They're coming back. They have a certain feel to them that I just feel like we don't have, and it just seems like we're all firepower. You know, like we're the overpowered. You know, we're a group of guys with like machine guns and all kinds of crazy stuff, but we don't know how to shoot. You know, we're reckless against, you know, SEAL Team 6 with, you know, pistols. Yeah, we've got the better firepower, but we have no chance in that firefight at all. We're dead. We're frickin' toast. Ask the Cubans. We got Bill part 2.
Yeah, Ryan got cut off there, but it's the first time that ever happened. But we don't have a lot of holes to fill, so we're not really that far away. We could have a great team, but we have to have somebody who can guide us when the bullets are flying and it's crunch time. Without that, it's not going to get done. And he's proven it too many times to give him a big contract, and then we're stuck with him. I mean, look, he's always like 3 years late firing people. And Hafley will be gone this year, defensive coordinator, and we'll have to get another one of those. So it's a clean house up top. We got the players. We just have to be Ed Policy has to make some tough decisions. Now, he can make some easy decisions and go, okay, Goody, you're back. Matt, you're back. Okay, great, easy decision. Go to Cancun, have a good time. And then we come back, and then next year, this time of year, here we are again, making the same phone calls. I mean, it's just over and over and over again. So, anyhow, it's always go, Pack, go. We had a lot of good moments this year, and thanks for your content. You're fantastic with all the work you do is unbelievable. I don't know how you do it and have a real life too, but I'm glad you do it. So thanks for that, and all us fans stick together, and you know it is what it is, no matter what decisions they make. But we need better. We need better. All right, go Pack, go.
Yeah, there's no question. You know, sometimes I think fans can overreact to things in terms of, you know, we didn't win, therefore it's not good enough. It's like, well, you know, that's not really true. That's not how that works. But, and again, I think a lot of people kind of looked at this last Bears game and went, wait a minute, that's not right, especially this season, because that happened, you know, so many times. And, you know, I think you could argue the season was underwhelming to begin with, considering we got Micah Parsons. You know, I mean, it feels as though the team actually took a massive step backward. If you look at 2024, we were better last year with no Micah and a hurt quarterback all year. This year, Jordan played significantly better than he did in 2024, right? And Lucas Van Ness was pathetic. So it's like, oh, we lost Lucas Van. He was terrible in 2024. He was much better this year. And we had no Micah Parsons. And like, it doesn't make any sense. It just feels like overall, the team, the quality of the team, the team's ability to win with the pieces that they have took a massive step backward. And I don't know if they just got too reliant on guys like Micah Parsons or what, and then just had no ability to recalibrate once he was out. But even, again, outside of those first couple games, it just feels like, they were elite. And then by week 3, they were just kind of like a decent team with Micah Parsons, which is not acceptable, right? You were a very good team, 11-win team or whatever, with a half a quarterback. In 2024, now you get your quarterback back playing at a borderline MVP level, and you add Micah Parsons, and, Christian Watson is back and playing really, really well, and you drafted Golden, who seems to be a very good player, and you have Josh Jacobs, who's one of the best running backs in football, and, Jaden Reed is here, for at least part of the time, and, Xavier McKinney is one of the best safeties in the entire NFL is on your team. You've got Bullard having a breakout year. You've got, Williams at safety playing really good football. It's not to say the team was perfect and there were injuries, but I don't understand why it wasn't significantly better considering what you had to work with. Considering what happened in 2024, 2025 makes no sense to me. And so, again, it's just kind of a question of what is 2026 going to look like and why should I believe it's going to be better? It might be. I don't have any information in front of me that I can look at and go, oh, that's probably why. I got nothing. And again, look at the records over the years for Matt LaFleur. It's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. His all-time historic record is gone. It's over. It's done. Actually, I think I mentioned that on tomorrow's podcast, so spoiler. But yeah, he's not up there anymore. He's not all-time in Green Bay Packers history. He's not one of the winningest coaches in NFL history anymore. That's not a thing anymore. Everything just seems to continually get worse. And as best as I can tell, it's not because the roster keeps getting worse. We keep adding these superstars. Jordan is playing at an incredible level. Like, what the hell do you need to be good at football? I don't understand. Let's end it with one more beer cheese, shall we?
Hey, Ryan. I just saw Jordan Love at the podium. I just saw a clip of it. Them asking, "Do you think Matt should remain the head coach?" And I'll be honest, man. I don't think he was genuine when he said he's like, "Yeah, I believe that he meant that he has a lot of love and respect for him. Obviously, I believe that. But he was just like, yeah, I got a lot of respect for him, and that's it." Like, I think he seemed kind of fed up about it, like, just about Matt. Like, yeah, like, that's it, whatever. Like, the coach just fucked me. I was balling out in the first half, and he decided to, be an idiot and screw me. But, at the same time, I also wonder, though, in this game, how much was Love getting out of plays or panning to plays that he shouldn't have? That's what I don't know. So that's something about it, but that's on the coach, man. He's got to tell him, like, hey, you can't do that, bro. You know what I mean? So screw it, man. Who cares? Never putting emotions into this team ever again. Just not going to get that crazy about it anymore, man. It's not worth it. All this and, like, you blow an 18-point lead. I'm never going to trust this team again, man. And why should I? For the rest of the time, honestly, dude, I don't even think I even want to watch games in the entirety, I might just watch Red Zone. I might just watch Red Zone. And then when I see them on the screen, I'm like, oh, dude, sweet, the Packers scored. Because it's not even worth my time anymore, man. Seriously. Such a joke of an organization. So much for Titletown, man. We won't get back there ever again. That's word.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You're not going to do that. You're going to be right back. You just pissed today. You're going to be right back in it on, September 14th or whatever day the game is back on. Anywho, appreciate all the callers. Appreciate our newest caller. Hopefully we'll be hearing from you again. Hopefully be hearing from all you guys again. And we did have a request for a song, so I think we'll go ahead and drop that in for today's outro. But again, if you want to support the podcast, patreon.com/pack_daddy would be greatly appreciated. I keep kicking the can down the road, but we should probably do, we'll definitely do a stream for the Bears game. How about that? We'll commit to that today. We'll do a hate watch for the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams game. So put that in your calendar. That'll be over on Patreon, and then we're gonna get this NFL draft stuff rocking and rolling a little bit here too. I'm overthinking how that's gonna go, but just got to do it. So, anywho, have a good rest of your day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
September promises written in green and gold. The same familiar story we've already been told. Build it up brick by brick, convince ourselves it's real. Another season loading, another wound to heal. Every winner deposit in a bank that won't pay out. Faith is just the currency of manufactured doubt. And I keep coming back to the screen that only knows how to cry. We are the causing machine, building castles just to watch them fall. Every January we scream at the ghost of something beautiful. The collapsing machine, feed it hope and it returns with nothing. The collapsing machine. Frozen field and failing drives when everything's at stake. The same script playing out, the same old hearts to break. Fourth quarter leads dissolving like they never even tried. Special teams and broken dreams, how many times we've died. Tell me that it's different now, sell me one more year. I'll buy it like I always do, pay the price in tears. We keep coming back, keep coming back. Loyal soldiers in a war we can't win. Coming back to a machine that eats us from within. We are the causing machine, building castles just to watch them fall. Every January we scream at the ghost of something beautiful. The collapsing machine, feed it hope and it returns with nothing. The collapsing machine. Run the table. This is our year. Believe.